What do you do when the same person who shattered your heart suddenly wants another chance? They ghosted you. They betrayed your trust. They walked away like you didn't matter. And now, after all the damage, they're back, saying they've changed, claiming they miss you, and acting like they deserve a place in your life again. But here's the hard truth. Just because someone regrets losing you doesn't mean they're ready to love you right. You see, heartbreak isn't just about pain, it's about clarity. It reveals who was real, who was temporary, and who was only there for their own comfort. And sometimes, when people feel the weight of your absence, they confuse that emptiness with love. But missing you isn't the same as valuing you. Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And right now, your reaction is everything. This is your moment, not to question your worth, but to protect your peace. Not to fall back into old wounds, but to rise with new wisdom. Because let's be honest, if they truly valued you, they wouldn't have broken you. If they truly loved you, they would have protected your heart, not shattered it. Regret might bring them back, but your growth should keep you moving forward. So, in this video, we're going to break down exactly how to respond when they come back. 7 powerful insights rooted in Stoic philosophy and psychological truth to help you reclaim your strength, trust your transformation, and stay grounded in self-respect. You've already done the hardest part. You survived the pain. Now it's time to make sure you don't hand your power back to the person who broke you. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I do not return to what broke me. Let's begin. Number 1, they miss the access, not the accountability. When someone breaks your heart and then comes back, it's tempting to think it's love, but don't be fooled. Most of the time, what they actually miss is the access. Access to your energy, your kindness, your support, your time, but not the accountability that comes with loving you right. They want your presence, but they're still avoiding your standards. They want your loyalty, but they still reject your boundaries. They want the benefits of your love without doing the work to deserve it. Psychologically, this is called emotional re-entry. It's when someone reappears in your life not because they've changed, but because they assume you haven't. They expect you to still be waiting, still be hoping, still be available, but you are not who you were when they left. You've evolved, and with growth comes higher standards. Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you allow someone back into your life who still thinks like they did when they broke you, you invite the same pain wearing different words. Love without responsibility is not love. It's emotional convenience. And you're not someone's convenience. You're not a backup plan. You're not the soft place they land when life gets hard. You're the storm they thought they could survive. And now they want shelter. The question isn't, do they miss me? The real question is, do they respect what I've become in their absence? Because missing you is easy, change is hard, and if they haven't done the hard work to become better, then their return is not a blessing, it's a test. Stop romanticizing apologies without accountability. Stop craving connection over clarity. You don't need someone to tell you they love you. You need someone to prove they've evolved. Words can't undo damage. Only action, consistency, and truth can do that. You are not responsible for fixing someone who shattered you. You are not obligated to revisit a chapter that already ended in pain. Let their regret be theirs. Your healing has already begun, and that is something they can't fake, force, or follow. This time, you choose yourself. This time, you raise your standard. And this time, You don't accept crumbs just because you once starved for love. You've built a feast in your healing, and not everyone deserves a seat at that table. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my peace, even from the people I once loved. Number 2, they want closure, but only on their terms. When someone breaks your heart and returns, they'll often disguise it as a need for closure. But here's the truth most people don't talk about. What they really want is relief from their guilt, not responsibility for their actions. They want to feel better about what they did, not make it right. They want you to say, it's okay, so they can move on clean. But you're not here to cleanse someone else's conscience. You're here to protect your own peace. Psychologically, this is called narcissistic closure, when the person who hurt you seeks emotional resolution without taking accountability for the pain they caused. They want a version of closure that doesn't make them uncomfortable. One where they get to leave feeling understood, but never held responsible. This is where your power steps in. Because closure isn't a conversation, it's a decision. It's the moment you stop looking for answers from someone who gave you confusion. It's when you choose to heal, without needing the person who broke you to validate your pain. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. You don't control their guilt. You don't control their regret, but you do control your healing, and you do not owe anyone access just because they feel uncomfortable with your absence." When they say they want closure, ask yourself, are they willing to take full accountability? Are they apologizing for the right thing? Or are they just trying to erase the version of themselves that hurt you? Real closure doesn't erase the past. It acknowledges it. It doesn't beg for forgiveness. It earns it. And it certainly doesn't show up with ego disguised as emotion. People will come back to rewrite the ending, not to fix the damage, but to feel better about walking away. Don't let someone edit your story just because they couldn't handle how it ended. You already lived through the heartbreak. You already survived the storm. You don't owe them a gentle goodbye just because they arrived with soft words. Remember, you are not hard-hearted for choosing peace. You are not bitter for setting boundaries. You are simply done bleeding for people who only show up when it's convenient for them. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't need closure. I choose clarity and peace. Number 3, they see you've changed, and it scares them. When they broke your heart, they expected you to fall apart. They thought you'd chase, beg, lose yourself trying to win them back. But you didn't. Instead, you rose, quietly, strongly, in your own time. And now they see a version of you they never expected. A version that doesn't need them anymore. That's the part that terrifies them. They're not just missing who you were when you loved them. They're panicking over who you've become without them. This is psychological whiplash. When someone assumes they're the center of your life and suddenly realizes you've built an entirely new universe without them, it shatters their illusion of control. They realize the power they thought they held is gone, and that's where regret sets in. Not always out of love, sometimes out of ego. Because now they're watching you glow in the places they left you broken. But here's what Stoic wisdom teaches us. We are only ever disturbed by the opinions we allow. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. You are not here to dim your light, just because it's blinding someone who used to take you for granted. You're not here to shrink back into old patterns, just because they've finally noticed what they lost. Yes, they see you've changed, Yes, they regret breaking the very soul that now walks without them. But don't mistake their regret for readiness. Don't confuse their shock for sincerity. The person who left you wasn't equipped to love you. The person who returns now is simply surprised that you learned how to love yourself. Growth is often uncomfortable to those who refused to grow with you. But that discomfort, that's not your burden to carry. You are no longer the version of you that tolerated pain in silence. You are no longer the person who made excuses for red flags. You are the result of every sleepless night, every tear shed, every moment you picked yourself up when no one else knew you were falling. That version of you? That's sacred. That's untouchable. So when they come back, moved by your transformation, ask yourself one thing. Do they celebrate your growth or just miss your weakness? Drop this affirmation in the comments. I've changed, and I'm not shrinking for anyone. Number 4. They want you back, but still can't own what they did. When someone truly wants you back, it's not just about showing up, it's about showing accountability. But what do most people do when they return after breaking your heart? They skip the apology. They skip the ownership. They skip the healing. And instead, they start with small talk. They test the waters with a "Hey, how have you been?" Like they didn't shatter you, like they didn't ghost you when you needed them the most. You see, they want access to you, but not responsibility for what they did to you. This is where emotional control becomes your greatest power. Just because they're back doesn't mean they're better. Just because they miss you doesn't mean they're ready. Psychology tells us that people often return not because they've grown, but because they're uncomfortable with your distance. The silence you created, it echoed, and now they want to silence that echo without doing the work to deserve your presence again. Seneca said, "To err is human, but to persist in error is of the devil." If someone returns to your life without owning their behavior, without expressing genuine remorse, they are persisting in error. And you owe it to yourself not to fall for the same wound dressed in different words. When someone regrets losing you but lacks the courage to face the truth, they'll try to rewrite history. They'll downplay what they did. They'll gaslight the pain. They'll say things like, "Let's not bring up the past," or "I've changed," without ever telling you how or why. But healing without accountability is not real. And love without accountability is not love, it's manipulation. Here's the truth. You can forgive someone in your heart without letting them back into your life. You can release resentment without repeating a cycle. And you can hear their apology, if it ever comes, not with hope, but with clarity. You are not obligated to welcome back anyone who made you question your worth. You are not responsible for fixing someone who broke you and then ran. Let them sit with the discomfort of their actions. Let them feel the silence they created. Because if they truly valued you, they wouldn't just return. They'd take accountability, loudly, clearly, without excuses. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Accountability is the bare minimum. I don't settle for less. Number 5. They say they've changed, but can they prove it? Anyone can say they've changed, but words are cheap when they're not backed by action. And someone who once shattered your heart will say anything to get back into your life, especially if they realize they lost something rare. But here's what Stoic wisdom and modern psychology both agree on. Real transformation doesn't need to announce itself. It's seen, it's felt, it's consistent. So ask yourself this: do they want you back because they love you, or because they lost control? There's a huge difference between someone who's grown and someone who just wants the comfort you once gave them. Growth shows in emotional maturity, in accountability, in changed patterns. But if all they offer are recycled promises and sweet words with no changed behavior, then they haven't grown. They've rehearsed. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one." If they were truly different, you wouldn't have to guess. You wouldn't have to test them. You'd see it in the way they communicate, the way they honor your boundaries, the way they make space for your emotions, not just their own convenience. And yet, so many people get trapped here, because the heart remembers the good, while the mind forgets the pain. You start to wonder, what if they really have changed? What if this time is different? But ask yourself, do their actions align with your standards? Are they stepping up or just showing up? Don't confuse timing with transformation. Sometimes people want you back simply because no one else made them feel as safe, as seen, or as supported as you did. But that doesn't mean they're capable of loving you the way you deserve. That doesn't mean they're worthy of a second chance. Because here's what strong people do. They don't negotiate their healing for temporary affection. They don't trade their peace for empty potential. And they don't invite confusion into spaces they fought hard to make clear. You set the standard. You don't chase validation. You observe. You protect. And you respond only to consistency. If they can't back up their change with evidence, with time, with accountability, then it's not change, it's strategy. And you are not here to be someone's emotional rehab. You're not a test run for their maturity. You are the reward they should have valued when they had you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't trust words, I trust consistency. Number 6, they want you back, but you control the terms now. The person who once had the power to break your heart now wants a second chance. But here's the truth. Wanting you back doesn't mean they deserve access to you again. And just because they regret losing you doesn't mean you're obligated to take them back. This is where your power comes in, not in reacting emotionally, but in responding intentionally. You don't owe anyone a reunion just because they finally realized your worth. The price of entry back into your life is no longer just love. It's growth, it's change, it's effort, it's consistency, it's accountability, and most importantly, it's your permission. Seneca once said, "No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have." You now have something incredibly powerful, clarity. Clarity about who they were, about how they treated you, about how much you had to heal to stand on your own again. They don't just have to prove they want you, they have to prove they've evolved. And if they haven't, you walk, not because you're bitter, but because your peace is no longer up for negotiation. Psychologically, when someone returns, it often stems from discomfort, not discovery. They're uncomfortable being alone. They're uncomfortable seeing you thrive. They're uncomfortable with the void they now feel. But true connection isn't born from discomfort. It's built on growth and mutual respect. So don't fall for the nostalgia trap. Don't romanticize what hurt you just because it feels familiar. Remember, the one who broke your heart taught you how to survive without them. Now, if they want another chance, it has to be on your terms. Terms that protect your heart, honor your growth, and reflect your standards. You're no longer the person who begs for love. You're the one who chooses who gets access to your energy. You don't chase anymore, you attract. You don't explain your worth, you embody it. And the moment you realize that you'll stop letting broken people come back just because they're lonely, they want you back. Good. But this time, you lead the conversation. You choose the outcome. You decide what's best for your peace. Because the real glow-up isn't revenge, it's emotional control. Drop this affirmation in the comments. This time I choose me, and I protect my peace. Number 7. Their return is a test, not a sign to reopen the door. When someone who shattered your heart shows up again, it's not always fate. Sometimes it's a test of how much you've grown, a test of how much you've healed, a test of whether you'll choose familiarity or self-respect. Because not everyone who wants you back has changed. Some just miss the control. Some miss the version of you who tolerated less, accepted excuses, and kept showing up when they didn't deserve it. But that version of you no longer exists. You're not here to relive the past. You're here to protect your future. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This moment, this return, is one of those outside events. You can't stop them from coming back, but you can decide how you respond. You see, real healing means you can face what once broke you without breaking again. It means you can hear their voice, read their message, see their name, and feel nothing but clarity. Clarity that you're not who you used to be, that your worth is not up for debate, that your heart is not a revolving door. Psychologically, regret often drives people to revisit what they once walked away from, but regret is not the same as realization. Regret is about their discomfort. Realization is about your value. And the difference between the two determines whether they're coming back for closure or commitment. Don't let their return manipulate your memory. The past was real, the pain was real, and the strength it took to move on, that was the realest thing of all. You didn't survive for nothing. You didn't rebuild just to hand the keys back to the person who broke the foundation. This is your test, not to prove your loyalty, but to prove your evolution. You no longer respond to breadcrumbs. You no longer get excited over bare minimum effort. You no longer mistake attention for love. If they've truly changed, it will show. Not in what they say, but in what they do, consistently. And if they haven't, let them regret you from a distance. Because the truth is, not everyone who loses you gets a second chance. Some people's role in your life was to teach you what love should never feel like. And once that lesson is learned, the door doesn't reopen. So, when they come back, don't see it as romance. See it as recognition. Recognition of your value. Recognition of your absence. Recognition that losing you was a loss they'll feel for a very long time. But just because they feel the loss doesn't mean you have to feel the pain again. They broke your heart, but now they want you back. That's not your fairy tale. That's your turning point, because this isn't about revenge. It's not about proving your worth to the one who couldn't see it. It's about finally seeing it for yourself and never letting anyone make you question it again. You survived what was meant to destroy you. You rebuilt after they disappeared. And now that they've returned, it's not your job to rescue them from their regret. It's your duty to protect the peace you fought so hard to create. Remember what the Stoics taught. You are only responsible for your response. You don't owe them another chance. You don't owe them closure. You don't owe them access just because they miss the old you. Because the old you loved without boundaries. The new you loved with wisdom. If their love couldn't protect you before, their return doesn't qualify them now. Let them sit with their regrets. Let them feel what it's like to want you back. And realize it's too late. And if you're still healing, let that healing continue in silence, in strength, and in self-respect. Not every story deserves a sequel. Some chapters need to stay closed so you can finally write the story you were meant to live. Drop this in the comments if you're walking forward, not backward. I choose peace, growth, and a love that won't break me. If this message spoke to you, if you're choosing your worth, your healing, and your peace over history, then don't just watch in silence. Hit that like button, share this with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more content that speaks truth, not sugar-coated lies. Your glow-up isn't revenge, it's redemption, and you're just getting started.